Today, we're going to meet a seedling hunter. Seedling hunters are people who are always on the lookout for new varieties of fruit. They travel the world looking for new varieties of fruit. There are clubs that go mango hunting around the world. And when they find those new varieties of fruit, they bring them back home and they graft from them so that they can have those new varieties of fruit. But they also plant the seeds, thousands of seeds. And they cultivate those seeds into trees. And sometimes it takes 7 years, and sometimes 10 years, and sometimes 12 years. And eventually those trees give fruit. And they taste the fruit. And if the fruit tastes good, and if the fruit is pretty and it has properties that they like, then maybe, just maybe, they've discovered a new variety of tropical fruit. We're going to go right now and meet a guy who's a seedling hunter. His name is Julian Lara. And there are actually tropical fruit varieties that carry his family name. This tree behind me is called a star apple. Other people know it as caimito. Julian is going to show us the Lara variety star apple, which is named after his family. Then he's going to tell us the story of what his family did to introduce the Lara variety star apple. And I hope when he's done with that, he lets me taste one. Come on, let's jump in the bus and go see Julian. What's up, Julian?
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good to see you, man.
Good, good.
What are we going to show these guys today?
Well, I think we should show them what star apple is, or what's also known as caimito. It's like eating a fig and a grape at the same time.
Well, thanks for having us over, man. Let's go show them.
My pleasure.
All right.
Well, the story behind this tree is we planted some seeds. We got some seeds back in the late 90s. We planted a whole bunch just to sell in containers.
Yeah.
And that was before we got into grafting.
I was just about to ask that. So is this a fruit that you can grow from seed, or is this something you need to graft?
You can grow it from seed.
Uh-huh.
I mean, again, every time you grow something from seed, it takes as long as a person to reach sexual maturity.
Okay.
Like you plant the seed, it's going to take the seed about 9 or 12 years to make fruit.
Yeah.
Depending on the seed.
Right.
You never know.
And then you might not,
people.
and you might not know what you get either, right?
And you might not know what you might get something good, mediocre, or excellent. It's like having a kid. It can grow up to be a doctor or a delinquent. And when you get a doctor,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when you get a doctor,
you want more.
That's when you graft it.
Yeah.
So you make a clone of doctors.
Yeah.
When you find a good mango, when you find a good caimito, when you find a good avocado.
Yeah.
So okay, this is the best avocado I've ever had.
Right.
I'm gonna name it after myself.
Right.
I'm gonna name it after my wife, my kid, whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna clone it.
Yeah.
And have a whole grove of this avocado or this star apple.
Well, I want you to talk a little bit more about that for a second before we get on to star apple, because I know from shopping here, from buying trees from you guys, I have seen pots with the name Lara actually chalked on it, which means that you have varieties that you discovered, that you invented, discovered.
Right, brought back. Like for example, this star apple, we planted the seed. I planted out of all the fruit that I bought back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I planted 4 seedlings.
Okay.
And out of the 4 seedlings, I got this one.
Okay.
Which is, pretty superior. It has the thin skin. It's soft.
Yeah.
And it makes fruit 6 months out of the year.
Oh, wow.
Opposed to 3 months out of the year.
Okay.
With normal star apples. Star apples usually make fruit from March to June. But this guy makes fruit from late December.
Yeah.
Comes out with his first 1 or 2 fruit.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't stop making fruit until June.
And did you name this variety?
Yeah, we named it. It's our house variety, so we call it Lara.
So so it is so here we have behind us. Here we have standing right next to me is a guy who basically invented a strain of a fruit, or discovered.
You can say that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I came across a good seed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was going to be good until it was fully grown.
Yeah.
and I was able to taste it, and you know, both me and my father determined it was superior.
Yeah.
So it was worth propagating.
Yeah.
And promoting.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this because recently I put a video out that started out saying this is a Hass avocado seed, and if you plant this seed, you won't get a Hass avocado.
Right.
And
you
it made
a
it
Hass variant.
You get a Hass variant, right?
Right.
But you won't get the same fruit,
no,
right? That you ate.
Right.
Right.
It could be just as good. It can be inferior, or it can be superior.
So the thing that makes me so happy, Julian, is here's a guy, I've been talking about people that do this in my comments and in my videos, right? Julian here does a combination of both things, right? One of the things he does is he goes around and he finds seeds and he plants them, and then he does seedling selection to come up with new variants of these fruit. But he also does grafting, right? Because people want
No, you
down
have to
here
graft it. You have to, I mean, the whole purpose,
once you get it, right? Once you find the one that works.
Look, I found an avocado in Hialeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it was in front of I used to have a house over there, and my neighbor across the street had an avocado seedling planted in their front yard.
Yeah.
And when it made fruit, I noticed that the skin was red.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
So I asked my neighbor for some, grafting material, some budwood,
some cuttings,
some scions, what they call it, and brought it back over here and grafted it, planted a tree.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I had the red avocado, the same one I had at my neighbor's.
Yeah.
And it's about this big, red, shiny. It's unbelievable. It looks like a red bowling ball.
Yeah.
And I named it Hialeah Red.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen them. The reason I saw that.
It's caught on.
The reason I saw that is because my aunt and uncle live over by Hialeah, and there's a hair color they refer to as Hialeah Red.
Yeah. That is completely possible.
So let me just show them what you're talking about here. So basically, you went up to that tree, like this tree here, right? Right. And you just took a couple of clippings.
Right. Well, not quite the way in the condition.
No, not in this shape. But
once they're flowering, it's already
too late.
Yeah.
It's too late
but
to cut them.
You can see I already cut it.
Right.
And I already grafted it a long time ago. And just by coincidence, this is the Hialeah Red tree.
Let's see it.
This is the one I brought back and grafted and planted. That's already an old, mature tree.
That's fantastic. So you planted seeds like you always do.
Yeah, you can plant any seed you want.
And you took some cuttings from that tree you found in Hialeah.
Yeah, and graft whatever you want on top of it.
And here's a tree that gives a unique style of avocado, and Julian actually named it himself, Hialeah Red.
Right.
Amazing.
And it wasn't after a hair color.
So you're gonna go ahead and cut down one of these star apples. Is that what they use for circumcisions? So you're saying it's got right here, it's got a blade. And then on the other side, it's got like a pair of pliers. It's like a grip. So it'll both cut and hold the fruit, so it doesn't drop to the ground and ruin. Because a lot of these fruit are delicate. You did that like a pro. Something tells me you've done that a lot of times before.
Many times. So here we got our beautiful Lara Star Apple.
Oh, I love it.
It is perfectly ripe.
Tell them a little bit about the fruit. What's it look like inside? What's it taste like?
Well, we're going to open it up.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fantastic.
We're going to open it up and we're going to eat it. See how it's completely purple on the top, too?
Yeah.
That's when it's perfectly ripe. Because usually they stay kind of green on top of here.
Okay.
And when that happens, it's still edible, but it's not as sweet as when it's completely purple.
Okay,
like this.
Cool.
And you got to catch it in time, because if they get overripe, like this one is getting, it gets kind of hard.
Okay. Right, so these aren't like avocados that you can kind of leave and pick at your leisure. These have a little window you got to get
this
them.
ripens on the tree.
Okay.
And if they are not ripe on the tree, they won't ripen. See, now this fruit right here, it's still in the process of ripening.
Right, so there's that green you talked about.
Right, it's still green.
I
guess that's what they call it, star apples, because they kind of look like a Granny Smith when it's completely green like this.
So that's where you get the apple from.
Yeah, and then the star is when you cut it at the equator all across and you open it up, the seeds are in a shape of a star.
Oh, okay. Are we going to see that?
Yeah, we're going to see that right now.
Awesome.
So this is the Lara Carambola, one of our house varieties here that we planted a long time ago, 20 plus years ago. Time flies. So I'm going to cut it kind of like a citrus this time. And to me, the flavor is like a grape, and it kind of looks like a grape and a fig mixed together.
Oh, look at that.
This white stuff here is like coconut flesh, and it feels just like coconut. tastes great. All this purple stuff inside is edible and soft.
Yeah. That's got to be good. It reminds me.
Resist.
Yeah, well, it looks like when you take a sip of a really nice like strawberry shake, and then you just keep drinking it, even though you know you're going to get an ice cream headache.
Yeah. You gotta get that brain freeze. But yeah, it's really good. It's kind of like a honeydew texture too.
Oh, so
and
good.
it's just pure sweetness.
Yeah. Some of these tropical fruits, like there's like a Hayden mango.
Here's another one.
When I bite into a Hayden mango, I stand there at the sink and I just feel happy. Like it actually makes me feel happy. Or like a really good lychee.
Yeah, you got to eat it at the sink, or else you're gonna make a mess.
Exactly. Oh, so okay, so this is where the second half of the name comes from, I gather.
Right. The English version is Star Apple.
Okay.
And I mean, pretty much anything you cut in half like this, it kind of has a star formation.
Sure, but this is really pronounced.
Right.
This is really pronounced. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so it's a combination of sort of the Granny Smith apple looking, and of course the round shape when it's on the tree. Right. And when you cut it open, it's got a star inside.
All right. You gonna try one?
I was kind of hoping you weren't going to forget your buddy Tom with a little slice there.
There you go.
All right, thank you, Julian. It's been a while since I've had one because, like I say, I give them to my wife when our tree fruits.
Here's your chance.
Oh my God.
So what does it taste like?
There's a definite fig, hints of a fig. Grape, like you said, and actually,
people, it's a giant grape.
I'm getting a little, almost like a there's like a nutty flavor too to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's so good.
It's like a fig, texture of a fig.
Totally.
Or of a really ripe honeydew melon with
yes.
grape.
Yeah, the honeydew's in there too.
Yeah, honeydew's
for
in
sure. Yeah. That is really good.
I really enjoy this fruit.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy introducing people to this fruit, especially people that never had it before.
Well, here's what's probably going to happen, Julian. You've just introduced thousands of people to it. Even local people who've never had it, right? Or maybe their neighbor has one of these trees and they don't even know it produces edible fruit, right?
Correct, yeah.
And so if I'm in Coral Gables or Pinecrest or something, and I think I might want one of these, what should I do?
Contact me. Go on Facebook, type in Lara Farms. Go on Instagram, type in Lara Farms. You got all my contact info there. I'll be happy to respond to any messages.
Fantastic.
Or even give me a call.
Yeah, no, and your guys are really good too.
Thank you.
Whenever I lose a tree, what I've been doing as I lose trees in the avocado grove, they get old, they die, they get hit by lightning, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Instead of replanting an avocado, I've been trying to put some different types of tropical fruit. And the idea is that so all year long we can go for a walk around the property and pick different fruit.
Yeah.
And this is where I come. I feel like this is kind of a fishing spot for me. Like it's really good and it's kind of hidden away. You know what I mean?
The honey hole.
It's a honey hole, and I like coming here. And you're probably going to find this a little hokey, but the people who watch my videos are used to this kind of thing. I get a really nice feeling when I'm out working with my trees, when I'm grafting a tree or something like that, and I always tell people, like, when you plant a tree, think about what you're doing, right? I'm looking at, like, behind me here, you got all these, what are these, 7 and 15 gallon trees over in here, right? Yeah. Someone's going to come down and they're going to buy this and put it in their yard, and it's going to grow. And that's a 40-year, 50-year thing.
Well,
right?
Think about it. You spend a couple $100 here, it'll last you a lifetime.
And then you sell your house and it might last someone else a lifetime.
Yeah,
and it's something to be proud of, right?
And at the same time, those $200, you can take it to a restaurant and then it's gone.
It's gone in one shot.
Yeah, and the next day it's down to 2.
It's gone.
Practically.
Yeah. No, and to me it's just something to be really proud of, when you're planting a tree. And so I always get a good feeling, like when I'm in my shade house working with my trees, or if I'm over here and one of your guys is taking care of me, and I know I'm thinking to myself, okay, like I have late seasons, and now I'm putting in some early seasons because these guys want to buy them from me, and they have to wait till September.
Right.
So Kenny hooked me up with some Donnies, and I think to myself, okay, I bought them from you, actually. Okay. I got them from you in my blue bus that day. That's right.
All right.
Yeah. And I just think to myself, like, I'm going back to the farm, I'm going to plant these Donnies, and someone somewhere, I ship to Alaska, Oregon, California, whatever, you know, they're going to see these fruit that they're not used to. It's not a Haas avocado. They're going to order it, they're going to bring it home and have a dinner, and it's just going to make people happy, you know? And so what you do makes people happy, and it's something to be really proud of, you know?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. And you know, like I said, like, you can go to Home Depot and get tropical fruit and buy it and go home and you've been in a parking. You know, but to me, like, coming to a place like this is an experience. Coming to a place like this where it's a family tradition, you know, and it's a family that actually has named variants, named varieties of tropical fruit.
Yeah, we got a carambola. My dad developed.
Oh yeah,
it's named Lara too.
Really? Wow. And that's so carambola, another fruit that has another name with the word star in it, the star fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's star fruit and star apple.
Right.
And an apple, you know, because this is round like an apple. That's what
Yeah.
I call it, star apple.
Yeah.
And then star fruit
is also
which is
carambola.
You know, that has
Yeah.
the shape of a star.
Yeah. And is your variety fruiting now?
Yeah.
Can I taste one?
Sure.
All right. And you can be found on, I think you mentioned you had Instagram.
Right, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Lara Farms on Instagram, Lara Farms on Facebook.
Correct. You can contact me there, you know, send me a message or give me a call.
All right. And if you like this really cool Sleepy Lizard t-shirt, you can get that at guacfarm.com. GUACFARM.com. Now, Julian mentioned he's going to let me try the Lara cultivar starfruit now. So while we go eat one of those, you guys go out to Instagram and Facebook and find Lara Farms, and we'll see you on the next video.